Ah, it seems like the party is finally coming to a close, isn't it? I hope you had as wonderful of a time as I did, my love. I'm certain the rest of our guests enjoyed themselves as well. You did a fantastic job planning all of this. If you were nervous about that, I couldn't tell. But regardless, there's no reason for you to be. At the end of the day, as long as you're happy with how it went, that's all that matters. Well, I appreciate the thought. I would have been fine with whatever you decided on, my little flame. But knowing I was in your thoughts when you planned this makes me more than a little happy. I especially like the decorations you chose. The wisteria flowers are both an enchanting embellishment as well as pragmatic for safety reasons. We needn't worry about demons coming anywhere near here. And the wisteria that grows naturally extends all the way to the entertainment district. All of the Hashira, including myself and the other demon slayers, then could rest easy, knowing those who aren't familiar with demons are safe. The food was great too, though I had to stop myself from getting a 6th plate of sweet potatoes. I'm glad we were able to put together a spread that catered to everyone. I'm not a particularly picky person when it comes to food, so I would have been fine if you'd chosen to do all of your favorites. But, as always, you went above and beyond for tonight. I couldn't be more impressed. You know what my favorite part was, my little flame? It was the moment the wedding march began to play. As you rounded the corner and took your first step into the aisle. The second I laid eyes on you, it was as if time itself had frozen over. Everything was in slow motion as it melted. My heart was drumming so loudly in my chest that it drowned out the piano. I felt like I was witnessing a dream come to life. And, in a way, I was. You looked so ethereal, with the wisteria petals Nezuko had scattered throughout the aisle. And the flowers that were falling from the trees and into your hair. Senjiro was practically sobbing while trying not to drop the rings, and I wouldn't blame him if he had. It took everything I had not to burst into tears at how beautiful you were in that moment. Though both young Kamado and Zenitsu probably cried enough for me. Just when I think I couldn't possibly love you more, you turn around and make me fall for you all over again. I couldn't ask for a better night. And I'm thankful that so many of our friends and family were able to make it. Truthfully, I didn't think my father would show up at all. It must have taken my brother a lot of convincing to bring him here, even if he did end up drinking quite a lot at the reception. I even saw him smile when Mitsuri was giving her speech earlier. Though it only lasted until Tengen went up on stage after her. I don't blame him, though. Tengen is... he's something else. I more than vaguely remember him drinking a little too much and dancing on one of the tables, his wives desperately trying to get him down. Well, 2 of them were. Suma looked like she was enjoying every minute of it. My father seemed to be in a good mood once we got around to the food and gifts, and I could have sworn I saw him talking with the master most of the night. Senjuro was hanging out with Kamado and the others, and he looked like he was having a good time as well. Remember how nervous he looked when we were collecting gifts earlier? I had to keep myself from teasing him about it in front of his new friends. I know I probably sound biased in saying this, but Senjuro's gift was certainly my favorite. Not just the fact that my father helped make them as well, but that he took the time to learn how to mold clay, just for us. I couldn't help but notice how each bowl was designed with all of us in mind, and of course that he signed the bottom of each one. I think with a bit of practice, he might have actually been able to make a solid living off of making art from clay. He's certainly skilled in carving wood, so it would be interesting if he could mix the two somehow. As long as he had fun doing it, that's all that matters. Your compliments really boosted his spirits, too. He had the biggest smile on his face afterwards. Honestly, I don't recall the last time I'd seen so much joy in one place. I know my family isn't normal by any means, but I can't help but feel elated to know that you're officially a part of it too. Like the wisteria flower that protects us from demons, I'll protect you with everything I have. This is the best night of my life. I enjoy every moment I get to spend with you. And now, we get to spend the rest of our lives together. Speaking of, we got a few weeks to ourselves after this, don't we? I've got quite the surprise for you that I'm positive you're going to love. No, I'm not going to give you any hints. You'll just have to wait and see for yourself. You've done so much up until this point, my little flame. So, let me handle the rest.